Uh, well, I don't think it's the middle one, so it's the first one or the third one here. Put there after he died doesn't make a lot of sense because of all the blood on the floor. Hold on, let me just take a peek at this picture. No, I thought if if he had like a coat or something on him, he could have like been disguised on the floor. Yeah, we can look at the bus again. We can look at the bus as much as we want. So the door only appears to be on one side. I don't know if this side opens up. The skylight... Oh, wait, does that have a hatch? What do you mean there? Is it the top? What are you talking about, Shader? There's this main door. This side doesn't have a handle. So they would have had to have opened the skylight. Right? It can't be opened from inside the cabin. So it can be opened from the outside of the cabin. Do you not see the latch? It's right there, isn't it? Holy crap, Shader, you were right. I didn't turn my thinking around. Well done, Detective Shader.
Objection!
Somebody opened... Wait, but then that means it's one of the dudes at the top? Only one side of the cabin is furnished with a door. The other only has windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open.
Objection!
Hell yeah, Shader. 12% of the time, you're right 100% of the time. That's perfect. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening which allowed the victim to appear inside the cabin. Come on, McGilded. Here is a sketch of the omnibus. Where's the entrance? Right up here.
Take that!
The skylight! Man, if Sparky ever comes back and watches this shader, he's gonna be so proud of you. Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However, skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass.
Objection!
So you claim, but do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained as the sound of the victim falling from his seat, having been assaulted with the dagger. Yes, it has, but the man slipping from his seat onto the floor really made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause her to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it. Now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible! How can you be so sure? If the victim had fallen inside the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. Yet not one person made mention of such events in their testimonies. Yes, that's true, but... Mr. McGilded? My humble fella. Might a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded? To Be sure now, the two fellows who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. It's a case of them being unable to say. What? Think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Humph. Oh my goodness, why not? Two chaps on the roof? You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were... Ugh! McGilded, you're not doing a very good job of making me believe you. Exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? What are you doing first? It's a flaming outrage. I've got a good mind to give you a blither in a minute. Mr. Fairplay, actively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker. Me, a very angry hatter. Someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's right, I protest too about you rotten scoundrel. Stop jumping around like one of those old 90s cartoons where they over-exaggerate every emotion. At the time, I will not permit wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. Beyond reason, my lord, it's outrageous! First, this is the most emotion you've shown all case. What do you have, Van Zeeks? It was the offense that incited this outburst from the witness. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young Japanese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. Proposed to this court, the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. Although this cannot possibly stand without rooftop passengers being aware of the events. Granted, these gentlemen liars who've imitated their criminal guilt. British court of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. Now, it's rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. Wasting time for it. Get them to testify. Thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. Let's see this matter through now, one way or another. There's filth and rubbish in our midst. We must dispose of it at once. Testify. 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 Fair play, Mr. First. My lord? You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. McGilded, you are a shady leprechaun. I want to trust you, but I can't trust you. We're the only people on the roof deck, dead or alive. The captain where he's sitting, don't you think one of us would have noticed? In case neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut the entire time. We couldn't possibly have opened it. So sure the victim fell through the skylight. Where's your proof? Well, there's a blood splatter on the ground. I must say, on listening to this testimony, is somewhat hard to imagine. No. They didn't drop the body onto the seat. They dropped the body flat onto the floor where the big blood. Hold on, give me a second. Let me use the omnibus to explain. Okay, so first, They dropped him from right up here, and then he fell and landed where this bloodstain is on the floor, made a loud thumping noise, woke up the man, the girl made a scream, the guy picked him up, put him on the seat, which for some reason is a different color of blood, which I don't like. God, if that's just like spilled juice or something, that's gonna make me very upset. So he picked him up, he put him there, found the girl, pulled her out, put her there, they had a talk, they saw blood on her hands, they screamed, she hid back under the seat, and he took the blame, I guess. There's a lot that still isn't explained, but I assume we'll figure it out. Logically, of course, the argument falls down to the two of you were in a collusion with one another. What? Eh? According to investigation by Scotland Yard, two witnesses share no common dealings. I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich! That sounds like a lot of Americans, actually. Which is a weird thing to say. Counsel to the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. I miss calling the judge Your Honor. Well, that's a lie because Beppo was there.
Hold it!
Oh god, there's 4 people to look at. Why is he... Okay, that's just a normal stand. Victim inside the closed cabin talking with this man here. What? I don't like McGilded anymore, but I can't get a good read on him.
Hold it!
Final run past 10 o'clock in the evening. Certainly been quite dark. Perhaps too dark to see clearly? I assume they're gonna make a noise and... She's just standing there like that. That's her resting face. This is his resting face. Okay. Yeah, testimonies can't convict alone. Then again, the whole law in Britain at this point in time is completely different from all the other Ace Attorney games. Because of the 6 people directly across from these people. Locked the door? How did the door get locked? I can't trust my client. This sucks. Yeah, it's pretty much just, he said this. Oh yeah, she said that. I think I saw this.
Hold it!
Okay. Met Thrive. It's fired Mason. He's got one of your hats!
Well, no.
What do you mean? What do you know? What are you talking about? The remotest connection. They've got the same damn hat! Very much mistaken. Your repayment date. Oh my goodness, you're trying to say that's the reason? It's extortion! Oh my god, come on, McGilded. This isn't what we're talking about here. Clearly the hat maker's got a connection because they've got the same wacky hat. It is a distinctive design. Customers like Mr. Mason? So I do have a connection to him in some way. It's got the same weird stitches your hat has. That's one of my hats! Brickmaker is a customer of yours! A customer you could have had a weak quarrel with over the distinctiveness of goods. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It'd be right to say that two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see? I rest Mike. Don't rest the case, we're not done yet! He's better at this than I am. Mr. Guild has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Why does he know so much? I got an achievement for that.
Hold it!
Quite certain about that. The skylight was shut the entire time. I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. You guys stop using British slang? See, it's shut fast. He didn't break it, it's still there. Why are you biting your cane? Expecting me to sentence you? You can't open it from the inside.
Excuse me.
Come on, Gina. Skylight. That's what we're talking about, right? Give me Sholmes' gun back, please. Skylight's open dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon. You can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago I was up on the roof deck at one of them drags. At a grand hall, I mean I had purses coming out me ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be elogicizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. The forum surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. What I did was I used the skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open it from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck? Bailiff! Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify the witness's claims. There it is, right there. Ooh. Ah. Oh, my hat! See? Order, order! Here's the street girl's statement is quite true. Believe it, the skylight opens, and from the roof deck. This could be the clue we've been looking for, but which one of them did it? Let's continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Alright, let's investigate it. Fastened shut before. Now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. So now we go inside. Now that the skylight is open. Yeah, you said that before. Any clues? Aha! Blood! Dun dun dun! Why would there be a blood stain there? Thank you for prompting me to investigate it. Oh, I'll have you know I just discovered the proof.
Objection!
The night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. Immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts. The irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us in this very courtroom today. What? That's utter humbug. Can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel, my lord. I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? You'll point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight. Well, it's, where is it? Oh, it's this side. This!
Got it!
By Jupiter, is that blood? Arg! Bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! So it follows, Mr. Gilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! Well, jury,
Hold it!
fair play's gotta hold it. But it could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. Only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, that would be mighty convenient. Let's keep in mind the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But. There's no way to know for certain, is there? The gem really did fall through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? It's all too plain, if you see. What's this circle here for, though? It's the aftermath that shows the poor fellow dropped from a far height. Right there, so it is? What? No! But it can't be. It's all lies!
Hold it!
My fellow jury members! I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing, even though I switched over to the guilty side twice in this trial. On three then, everyone. 1, 2, 3!
Objection!
Oh, come on. What else do you have? A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zeeks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight? Such evidence is null and void. What do you mean? One extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed. Oh no! The bloodstain on the floor and the thing weren't actually there! They got added, didn't they? No! For all to see. It's clearly
Objection!
blood. Personally attended to Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. She's involved over the carriage with a fine-toothed comb. So I can say with absolute certainty, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began. God damn it! First he takes the stuff out from under the seat, now he plants fake blood? McGilded, you scrub! I realize this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I'm well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? While you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Tut tut, Lord Van Zeeks, it will not do to be sure. Will it now, counsel? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if you shall cast your minds back, you're not sure the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have smeared blood without the world and his wife seeing? If someone used a smoke grenade. It's true, the omnibus has been in full view the entire time the court's been in session, my learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? You're asking me, I think. It could have been possible. McGilded is potentially guilty, and there's a whole lot of crap that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But I'm sticking to my guns. There's no evidence to suggest the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh, good gracious! Explain yourself, counsel. McGilded's gonna be so mad at me. Yes, there is. It seems my learned Japanese friend has no intention of running from his deceit. Deceit? Sure, everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. The result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. What's going on? Be careful! Cover your face! Bailiff, don't let the accused escape! Secure the omnibus! Call an emergency recess! Make sure the defendant is in custody and in the courtroom! The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Are ye wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger? Feckless gouger? You're supposed to be defending me! 'Tis a wicked plot! 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so it is! Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as... Start with the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. It's true, when the omnibus was first wheeled out, the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. But I peeked in the compartment. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord, no doubt there is not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? I have an inkling. My lord, yes, counsel. There's one further inconsistency. Mark that Shirley could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What? Let me just peek real quick. Okay, it's the same omnibus. Let's go inside again. I think it's the bloodstain on the floor. Because that seems a little too... I don't know, like, it should have dried like this blood did. Right? I guess we'll find out where this goes. What the devil's name are you going to say now? You dare betray me, you little maggot? You better start watching your back! Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. The trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I'll ask you to elaborate, counsel. Where is the alleged mark your claim appeared during the trial? Well, I think it's that bloodstain on the floor because there's dried blood there. But I'm gonna have a quick glance around just to make sure I'm not blind. Yeah, we're gonna try to say this.
Got it!
No, it's not the bloodstain. Oh, it is the bloodstain. Onto the floor of the cabin. Certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. As far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say this is a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. The question of whether that evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit there's at least a possibility the evidence is fake. At least Van Zieks is gonna like me after this one. Hopefully. Arg! This trial is over. Mr. McGilded? Done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it is all over now. But you're the defendant. 'Tis over, I tell ye. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, 'tis all nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there now. Well, the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zykes. Well, my lord, I must concur with the defendant. Unaffirmed recollection of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. Since of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence. If only Sholmes were here! I regret to say it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. Lord Van Zykes, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In case, as I believe you have explored every possible avenue in this matter, shall proceed to my education. Formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty, which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome? Really alright for the trial to come to an end now with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. I call Herlock Sholmes to the stand. Yes, my lord. Defense believes the defendant could be guilty. I'm here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove he is innocent. Good gracious me! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused innocent into question? Are you of sound mind? Wah ha ha ha! Oh, 'twas a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer. So it was a grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Job here is done, fella. Some fine work you've done, so ye have. What do you mean? 'Tis just as the right honorable gentleman so sessionably put it before. Trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality. Wah! McGilded is an a-hole. Dude, don't forget the jury still exists? I really don't know what to make of all this. Is the evidence we see genuine, or was it fake? His lordship would be fuming. The unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. Stinking rich are always guilty of something, you. Mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted the lovely man who gave us the lovely park. Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I'm compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court. But we still haven't determined that the bloodstain was genuine. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. No idea about the truth. Lord Van Zykes? My lord, the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. Indeed, the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with. The prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. It's not his fault.
Objection!
You're evacuated from the courtroom. He ordered for it to be secured. For prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair! Oh my god! Culpability of the defendant has not at present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will now be required to proffer judgment. What? Well, Lord Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. As for you, my dear fellow, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. You mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? 'Tis the law of the land, good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus McGilded. Good grief, you've more to say to me, have you? Just one thing, a warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. Hereby pronounce the defendant Magnus McGilded. What? Put those fireworks away. He doesn't deserve it. Sholmes, get in here and use your sciencey gadgets. Believe it, this is an outrage. I should have examined the evidence more. Talking about the man's been cleared. He's innocent. With the courtroom in a pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. My first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty. Ostensibly a victory for us. I don't feel like I won. It certainly was a long trial. First ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Miss Susato, thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. Trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Didn't have enough time. Isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. Telling me the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did. You evil leprechaun. Mr. McGilded. Ah, that girl is with him too. Well, it seems the stories are true. About the 6 enormous fireworks they'd be letting off in the verdict of not guilty. Sure, you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. And it was a sight to behold. Sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Wah! Ha ha ha! I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What are you saying, fella? How did I walk out there a free man then? 'Cause you changed the evidence to make it seem like you were innocent. I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. Wah! 'Tis water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. Nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh, aye. Money! You've all seen that I didn't do that odious and abscondent deed. 'Tis grand, is it not? Suppose it is. Now, the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it was. They'll get to the truth. Absolute faith in them, so I have, after all. I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. Wah ha ha ha! It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles. What a humble people you are from the East. Well, if you insist. Have this, still and all. You deserve a reward. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. Hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There are some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. Going to examine it again? Now? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. As an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing me best to help where I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. Oh then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting you. Hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. No! Put it down, put it down. That belongs to Herlock. Don't move. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. I hate all grown-ups. Ah, there you are. Naughty, naughty, running off like that. Who the hell are you? Taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ha! Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. Grr. Excuse me, but who are you? Good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. Inventor? Normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. You have to be shrouded in smoke. You can at least be a pretty color. Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though, at all? I took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was chaining into a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. Ah! Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. What? What for? To apologize to my technician. I have to say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Good, good. You see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end. Fairly sure that's what she wants, is to not get shot by that massive gun of yours. We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. Sorry for all the fuss. But who are you? She was a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too? Yeah, you're right, but where to? Haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner than we arrived in London, we had to rush here. Our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. The other day in search of lodgings. It's late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck. Don't worry, I have a plan. Worst come to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where you could spend the night. Oh no, not McGilded Park. I don't trust that guy. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person's soul just as easily as an elderly one. Dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over. But see, you're going to give me a to be continued that's going to say the case is over. No.
What's going on?
Get the fire brigade!
Water! Bring water! Quick!
What?
What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Who's inside the thing?
No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there. Oh.
Your lordship!
Oh, this can't be.
Van Zeeks! Well, that's not good. Why would someone burn it to the... What kind of evidence was hidden in that thing? What were they smuggling? What the hell? Huh. Okay. Yeah. I also want to know who is inside the thing. But we're going to save that for next time. We got through chapter 3, which is good. It was a little anticlimactic if you ask me. I honestly don't think he's not guilty. I think he might have done it, but I guess only time will tell if we get to figure that out. Next time, we figure out who is inside the burning omnibus, and most likely run into Herlock again, because his picture's on the thing. Thank you for coming out and watching. I hope to see you again next time, where we try to get an explanation for what the hell that was. Goodbye.